All right. So, yeah, and Dennis Shook with the super chat here said, "Thank you, Dennis. We appreciate you, pal." He said, "Tuck Norris is more like Diet Gronkowski to me." I can see that. I really can. He's got really good hand. Gronk had phenomenal hands. I mean, he's arguably the best tight end in the history of the game, and he would line up. You ever seen the clip where he talked about throwing the guy out of the club on the field? The dude that was talking crap the whole game.
Yep.
He said, "I had to throw him out of the club, coach." So he came to the sideline and said, because he got a flag for it, he blocked the dude like 15 yards out of bounds.
Slammed him.
Yeah, he come to the sideline and go, "What are you doing?" He said, "I had to throw him out of the club, coach." He was talking crap. I love it.
Moonlighting as a bouncer at a strip club near you. Check them out.
Yeah, exactly. But I can kind of see that with Gronk, man. And now listen, we don't want to get ahead of our skis here. We're not saying that Tuck Norris. Look at me saying Tuck Norris now. We're not saying Tucker Kraft is as good as Rob Gronkowski. Okay, we're not saying that, but I can see the similarities in play style. He'll run through you. He can run around you. He can run right by you. He can block, as Emilio would say. I think. Look, speaking to the devil. That Beetlejuice, man. You say his name 3 times and he pops in here.
Here's the guy.
And Dennis, thank you so much, Dennis, for the super chat. We appreciate you, man.
Emilio likes Tuck Norris, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll buy him the Workings Man Gatorade if he needs it, but
there you go.
I don't think he does. I think he's probably he'll be the next one to have like I don't know, maybe Coors or Miller, something like that.
He's a Busch Latte dude. Come on now.
The orange cans, the hunting cans. You got to find you got to find the winner.
Love it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Let's see here. Professor Cakes, I love Gronk. He's so carefree. He is a walking example of ignorance is bliss. And what's crazy is like he played that persona so well. Many people don't know this about Gronk, but while he was in the league, he only lived off his endorsements, and they said that he banked every single paycheck he got.
Yep.
And he's just extremely like when you get him out of that Gronk role, extremely intelligent business guy. I love him on Fox. I think he's a good dude, man. I've always enjoyed just the sound bites and everything, man. I think he's great. So
yeah, they always give him that kind of dumb jock kind of persona, but if you really look at him, nothing could be further from the truth, right? Especially when it comes to football. The guy knows football, I'm not saying he's going to, teach a college course anytime soon or anything like that. But I think Gronk is a little bit smarter than people give him credit for. And he's kind of played up that kind of dumb, tough guy image to his advantage. So shout out to Gronk for getting that paper, as the kids say.
As they say in the streets, right, Emilio?
No.
Yeah, you were out there getting that paper a few minutes ago.
Got to get that NIL money for sure.
Emilio would use his real money on college football 25 to pay recruits.
Gotta get that ultimate team up,
That ain't no problem. That ain't no problem.
Well,
it's really not. Appreciate it.
Matt Schneidman tweeted out, Josh Jacobs said Matt LaFleur told the team today to watch what they say when they're mocked up. LaFleur showed a clip of Jacobs saying something mid-run last Sunday. Jacobs wouldn't tell us what he said, only saying of his trash talk, quote, "Mine is bad. Mine I would never repeat." So let's hear what he had to say here.
Are you a trash talker? Let's say this. In team meeting today, coach put up a clip. He was like, "Watch what you say when you're mic'd up." And I was basically talking trash mid-run during the running play. So, yeah. I mean, I say I do a little bit. I don't never start off trash talking, but it's like once somebody said it to me, it kind of turned me up. So, yeah.
He's going to finish it.
Josh Jacobs was like,
edit D's. How about that?
Mid-run, he said. Everybody's going, we got to find that clip. Good luck finding it.
Right.
That would be all. What do you think he said?
I could get us in trouble with what I think he said, but it's probably the same sort of thing, you're saying when you're playing head to head against somebody in college football, take it to the house and you say a few choice words for them.
Yeah. I love that dude, man. His smile is infectious. You could just tell that he's one of those dudes that draws people to him, and he plays the game the right way. Josh Jacobs, I think, is going to be absolutely awesome for the Packers for at least the next 4 years. Who knows, maybe longer. But he's just you could just tell he's good for the locker room. You know what I mean? Like, and think about this too. Like, he got pulled out of the game because he missed a pass blocking assignment, right? And he was kind of pissed on the sideline wanting to get back in. We were all pissed that he wasn't in the game. If you guys remember, we're going, why is he not in the game?
No block, no rock.
Exactly right, Coach. Notice how he's not holding any grudge there, right? He's just like, let's keep it going, right?
He can't go back and change it. You know what I mean? So, like, at some point, you got to just be okay with what happened and move forward. I mean, he's not going to be able to run back and do his, he can't go back and take what he said back from the mic'd up moment. I mean, it is what it is. You just got to keep moving forward.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. All right. Y'all ready to move into a little bit of tendency talk when it comes to
that ain't no problem.
Well,
Tim got his new favorite drop. I love it, man. It's like Christmas in here. Let's see here. Let's talk a little offensive personnel and what the Cardinals like to do real quick. All right, see if we can learn something. We're in here just talking about nonsense. I wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest with you. But personnel tendencies for the Arizona Cardinals. Okay, so here's what we're talking about on offense. All right. So when we look at the tendencies, let me stretch this out just a touch, make sure I'm not missing anything. Yet we are on offense. All right, cool. So what you've got is the rate at which they run these personnel packages. So you've got 11, 12, 13, 23, on and on and on, right? Here is what they run offensively. 11 personnel, 3 wide receiver sets. That's 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 wide receiver sets. They're in that 48.6% of the time. Second most personnel, 12 personnel, okay? They're in that 30.3% of the time. 13 personnel, 1 running back, 3 tight ends, heavy sets, right? They're in it 16.8% of the time. Then they've got 23 personnel, 2.2% of the time. Then 1 and 21 at 1%. What you get here, guys, is like roughly 50% of the time, they're going to be in 12, 13, or 23 personnel. Think about that. This is going to be one of those games where they probably like to play from a condensed package, and they want to work that zone read RPR into the game plan against the Packers. Now, what are they good at, right? Let's go to EPA rankings. So what are they best at? 23 personnel, they're ranked number 1 in the league, all right, in EPA ranking. 11 personnel, which they run the most 48% of the time, they are 3rd in EPA, all right? That's expected points added. 01, which is obviously just a 4 wide receiver set, 1 tight end. They're in it only 1% of the time. They're ranked 3rd. 13 personnel, they're in it 16% of the time. They're ranked 6th in the league. So you can see this offense, man, 23, 11, and 13 personnel, look out. They're pretty darn good. So when you're trying to put together a game plan against their offense, that's what you want to kind of key in on, right? Mm-hmm. Now, when we go with the formation tendencies, and let's sort it by Arizona Cardinals here, let's see what formations they like to use. So, again, what did we come up with there? What was the thing they like to run the most? It was 11 personnel, right? Mm-hmm. So they like to run 11, and then what was it? It was 11, then 12, then 13, correct? So we'll go 11, 12, and 13. Now, let's talk about formationally. What do they run? We talked personnel already. They run 2x2 sets 42% of the time, right? That means, let's say they're in 11 personnel. That means you're going to have 2 wide receivers on one side and a tight end or a wide receiver to the other side, right?
And it doesn't matter if he's attached to the line or split out wide, correct?
Correct. Whether they're attached or not, you're looking at 2 pass catchers on each side of the center.
Gotcha.
Right? That's essentially what that means, minus the backfield. Forget the backfield. So 2x2 sets, they're in it 42% of the time. All right. And then their next favorite set is trips and tray left, 3x1. They're in it 21% of the time. So 3x1. And then 1x3, which is trips and tray right. They are in it 18% of the time. All right. Now let's talk about the EPA ranking for each of those. So when they're in a 3x2 set, which is an empty set, it's somewhat convoluted here because it's only 2% of the snaps. Let's just move past it. Trips and tray left, they've got the 5th highest EPA in the entire league when they're in trips and tray left. 2x1 sets, they only run it. What's the percentage of of the snaps there? Do we have it 7% of the time in 2x1 sets, which that's probably going to be your 12, your 21s. You could probably go 13 and you might have a tight end in the backfield. I don't know. We'd have to look at the tape to really get a good beat on that. They're in at 7% of the time, though, 8th in EPA. And then their 2x2 sets that they're in 42% of the time, they're 12th in EPA. The moral of the story here is you see they're top 10 in 3 different formations in EPA, and they're top 15 in their top 5. So this is a potent offense that you cannot overlook, man. This is not the week to pin your ears back and get crazy with the rush lane. You know what I'm saying? Because they will hurt you. Not only will Kyler Murray take it to the house on you scrambling, but he will also scramble to create secondary throwing windows. There's no doubt about that. Anything stick out to y'all there offensively from the Cardinals standpoint?
Yeah, like be ready, Packers defense. The 23 personnel is what's really interesting to me. You know, like who else in the NFL is running that with any kind of regularity
and success, right? I mean, it's got to be Connor that has some of it. That's probably your goal line. What caught me was their first. I was going to say.
Go ahead. No, you're good. You're good.
Just that first one, their 2x2 set is. Or no, how'd you have that ranked? I'm sorry. You had EPA. Right? There we go. Yep. So their 3x2 where they're going 5 wide is their EPA is 0.69, almost 0.7. League average negative 0.17. I mean, they almost have a full point on the league when they're going 5 wide, and they're taking Connor off the field. And so I mean, I know they have Marvin Harrison, but how deep is that wide receiver core? But they're efficient in the 5 wide sets, even with the one tight end or what have you. Pass rate 100%, obviously, but you can still get Kyler scrambling out of that you have, you got to be eyes on the ball or you're playing man and you get burned. So
yeah, and when they're in that,
and Kyler's doing better this year when he has time in the pocket too.
Right,
I forgot where I saw it, but his numbers are up when he has a protected pocket, and he's back there with time to throw, which would go against your conventional wisdom, right? You think he's a mobile quarterback. He wants to get out, run and gun, that kind of thing. But he's kind of improved as far as being a pocket passer.
No doubt.
And I think to, Emilio's point here, you talk about some of these 5 wide sets and them having this success. I mean, a lot of that's probably due to Kyler Murray standing in the pocket and making the right throws. So, we've got to be balanced and we've got to be ready for any and everything from this Cardinals offense.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this too, man. Keep in mind, just because it's a 3x2 set doesn't necessarily mean the running back has to come off the field too. You could catch somebody in their base if you come out. I mean, they could come out in a 13 set and still go 3x2, right?
Yeah,
and flex the running back.
I guess what I was thinking is the 0-1 sets, the no running back, one tight end. They had that, 2% of the time. I get that. That's where I was thinking, but you're totally right. You're totally right. Like how we do with Aaron Jones, flex him out all the time, let him run a route.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and as far as what Tim was saying, within the clean pocket, Kyler Murray's passer rating this year in a clean pocket is 98.8, under pressure 99.9. So he's actually playing a little bit better under pressure. But you're right, Tim. That in a clean pocket, that wasn't his forte, because typically people hear clean pocket and they think, oh, that's bad for the defense. Not necessarily. When you're keeping the quarterback in the pocket, you're making him throw from within the well, and you're kind of compressing that pocket. Especially someone of his stature, I'm not trying to be mean, but he's a shorter quarterback. When you got to throw out of that well, man, that's what you want to do, is keep him in that pocket. That's why it's important. Don't lose your gap integrity and allow him to get outside of the pocket. But you're right, Tim. He's playing a lot better when it comes to that. No two ways about it.
We got to account for that, right? We can't get caught up thinking that, he's just going to scramble all day, because then he's going to sit back there and pick us apart. So got to be balanced with our approach. And clearly that is the number one concern, is this Arizona Cardinals offense. I'm not hyper worried about our offense against their defense, but our defense has got to come to play on Sunday. We cannot afford to take this for granted.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so let's look at their defensive kind of setup here, okay? So we're going defensive personnel tendency and EPA ranking. Now, listen, the offense always dictates the personnel, so this is just how often they're facing this type of personnel. I would rather just let's jump right into the EPA ranking and what they're good at. You see these 1%ers here. Let's just kind of throw those out, and let's start down here with the 10%. Okay, so 10% of what is wrong with you, Emil? What is your problem?
Nothing. A cat on the lap, but no, the chat is just the chat is just hilarious. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sit your butt outside.
I should.
That's to the cat. That's to the cat there, by the way. Tell the cat to sit his butt outside. So, what's this one's name?
This is Louis. Oh, there he goes.
Here's the guy.
He's going. All right, so 10% of the time they're facing 12 personnel. Okay, their EPA ranking as a defense is 4th. Okay, let's see, 11 personnel. When they're facing 11 personnel, they're seeing that 61% of the time, which is pretty common across the league. EPA ranking drops to 14th. And then against 21 personnel, 27th in EPA ranking. 12 personnel, look at this, 12 personnel, EPA ranking is 31st. So what's that tell you? You want to get out there and stay in 12 personnel, run the freaking ball down their throat, play action off of that, and attack this defense from 12 as much as possible. That's kind of what it sucks that Musgrave's hurt and he's on IR now, but Ben Sims can carry the load too, man. He can. Don't be afraid to press into that. So what did we learn there as far as offensive game plan? The way you want to attack is 12 personnel, right? And with 11 personnel, they're kind of middle of the pack, so you could attack with that as well. I would really, really press into 12, though. Now let's talk about what formations they struggle with in that regard.
I wouldn't be opposed to a little bit more 21 as well. Honestly, get a little Jacobs Wilson back there.
That'd be nice.
Little pony.
Yeah, a little pony package. You might see Jaden Reed back there.
That ain't no problem.
So here is what they struggle the most with as far as formationally, being the Cardinals, they being the Cardinals. Trips and Trey left, they're 32nd in EPA ranking. Okay, so that's 3-by-1 set. They struggle with it. All right. Oh, no. We don't have them. That's not filtered out. I apologize. It reset on me. Let me make sure that I got really excited.
I was like, I saw the Packers up there. Didn't like that, but
yeah, we won't go for that. All right. So what they struggle with is 2-by-2 sets. They're 29th in EPA ranking. Okay. So 2-by-2 is what they're struggling with. And then 26th in EPA and 2-by-3. So that's your empty sets. They only facing it 2.2% of the time, but don't be afraid to empty it out. Obviously, that's a 2-by-3. So that's your 3 targets to the right, 2 to the left out of the empty. And then 16th in trips and Trey left. All right. So that's 3-by-1 set. So what that tells me, boys, go with that balanced 12 approach, right? And it doesn't mean you're going to come out pre-snap and line up balanced 12, meaning basically wide receiver, tight end, but you can actually go with kind of a strong left or a strong right look with 2 tight ends, and then use that pre-snap motion to gather a little bit of intel to take them over to the 2-by-2 set. All right. That's what they're struggling with the most right now is 12 personnel, 2-by-2. That should be the way you're looking to attack the Arizona Cardinals defense. Any opinions, thoughts, anything on that, fellas?
Yeah, I think Matt LaFleur can scheme it up. I think the key is going to be getting ourselves to that. I think we can come out in a 3-by-1, 3-by-2. Everybody could be flexed out. Let's motion into some of these looks. We don't need to come out from the rip, in them. And that way we can put a little bit more stress on them. Matt can keep cooking it up and open up the throwing lanes for J Love.
Heavy dose of Jaden Reed. Let's get Bird in that flyer position. And, I just love him coming up. We saw it last week, the orbit motion and the quick hitters, things like that. I think that's something we got to pepper in against this Cardinals defense. And
you could do that out of 12 if you wanted to, too.
Yep.
You could go 12 gun, balance, and use orbit. That could gather the information for you. And
could that be considered pony clay? Or like –
it's what I consider it because they either hand it to him or they fake it to him. And essentially that's what he's doing with that reverse orbit. He's it's cheat motion to the pony package. That's exactly what it is. So, yeah. Everybody making fun of my head size now. I love it. They said we need to set up a GoFundMe for hats for Clayton. I love it. Mandy always, you guys have heard the story 1,000 times, but she's seen, we hadn't been dating but a few weeks. This is back in 2000, right? That's way back. We're talking about a quarter century ago, right? I take her to the house. She sees a baby picture of me, and she said I look like a tadpole. There you go. But appreciate everybody. Thanks for making fun of the hat size in here.
It's all right. We're having a cat dog discussion in the chat too.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Shout out to Bates and all the stuff we can't put on the screen.
Yeah, Bates, that had me right there, man.
Spoken like a true Marine right there. Love it.
Yes, it was. God, this show sucks so bad. It's so bad. All right, let's move on to the PFF preview. We got about 16 minutes. Can we hold it together that long, gentlemen, please?
Sure.
Why does Coach Hafley pull that back up? Why does he look like he's been on a bender, like a 3-day bender, don't he? He's like, I look like Emilio the next morning in Nashville, man, right there.
Yeah, that was probably the truth right there.
And then the boss looks at you like,
he said, "Why don't you have 3 in the chamber? I've been up since 3 in the morning right now." We'll have to edit in a couple there for half.
And Dick in the chat says, "Damn, Clayton, can you back away from the camera so your head fits in my screen?"
boom, roasted.
Oh, this is therapy for me, man. All right, PFF preview. Let's get to it here. I'm going to take you off the screen. I'm tired of looking at y'all. How about that? I'm going to take my head off the screen here for a minute. Quit, Emilio. You're distracting. All right. So PFF preview summary real quick. Power rankings. They have the PFF has the Arizona Cardinals ranked 30th in the league. They have the Packers ranked 7th. Like that. Me likey that, Jan.
Mm-hmm.
Power ranking on defense. Cardinals are 30th. Packers are 22nd. Power ranking on offense. They've got the Cardinals 16th. The Packers 11th. All right. Strength of schedule played. The Cardinals have played the second strongest schedule. The Packers have played the 25th. So they have been somewhat battle tested there. As far as run to pass ratio, they're passing the ball 55.8% of the time, only running it 44.2% of the time. The Packers are passing 52.9% of the time and running 47.1% of the time. EPA per run, really, really neck and neck here. They're sitting at a negative 0.03. The Packers are at negative 0.04. EPA per pass, they're slightly better than the Packers there as well at a 0.08. The Packers are 0.07. So according to this, outside of the power ranking, the numbers would suggest the Cardinals have the better offense. However, PFF taking everything into consideration, they seem to think the Packers are 11th and the Cardinals are 16th. Anything stick out to you guys there with just that initial kind of team metrics outlook on the Packers-Cardinals this Sunday?
More proof of what you were saying, Clayton. This is shaping up to be a close one. You know, I still think we're due for a boat race. One of these games, we're going to boat race somebody. I don't know if it's going to be the Cardinals on Sunday. I got a feeling this is going to be a close game.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there, Tim, because honestly, they've played the Bills, the Lions, Commanders, and San Fran. That is 100% the reason their strength of schedule is second. That's a gauntlet right now. The way that Jaden's playing, the Lions, San Fran. I know they're banged up, but still, it's that's brutal.
Yep, they played legit teams, and for them to be 2-3 says a lot about their football team right now. I think a lot of us wrote the Cardinals off going into this year, and I don't think you can do that right now. I certainly hope we don't do that on Sunday. We can't take this for granted.
No, yeah, it's not a team that it's a trap game that can't be taken lightly at all. Because we would want to be looking ahead to the Texans and just get through this week and keep moving. But if if you're not paying attention on one read option or one thing like that, Kyler can take it to the house and there's a 7-point swing.
Yeah, our guys better wake up with their piss hot, like I said before. So.
That's it. That's how I got to come out of the locker room.
You heard it from a coach right here. Quarterback comparison. Kyler Murray, boys, playing some of the best ball of his career right now. 81.9 is his PFF grade. Jordan Love's is 62.2. Passer rating when clean for Kyler Murray, 98.8. Jordan Love, 102.9. Passer rating under pressure, Kyler Murray, 99.9. Jordan Love, 47.6. Really struggling against pressure this year, probably because of the knee. I think we would all agree. Big time throw percentage. Kyler Murray, 6.55%. Jordan Love's 2.34%. Turnover worthy play percentage, 2.38% of the time, Kyler Murray. And then Jordan Love is up to 4.69. Got to protect the football here. Power rating, they got Kyler Murray at a 4, Jordan at a 5. And then the power rating rank, they've actually got Jordan Love ranked higher as 7th in the league, and they've got Kyler Murray at 12. Now, all the numbers would tend to disagree. That's why PFF gets made fun of sometimes, because you got every one of their analytics is saying Kyler Murray's the better quarterback this year, but then they say, no, Jordan's the better quarterback. So there you go with that. Thoughts on the quarterback comparison? Man, you can't deny it. Kyler Murray's playing good football this year, boys.
He is. I think we're going to be in for a shootout, depending on how this game goes on Sunday. It could be grinding it out in the run game, or we could see a lot of that RPO, RPR type stuff. A lot of quick hitters and getting the ball out early and fast from both quarterbacks, really, depending on, what Arizona's approach is to handling our offense. But still feel good about the Pack in this one. And, I think you're right. Some of these metrics are a little, you could kind of scratch your head a little bit. But all in all, it tells the truth, right, that this is going to be a pretty close matchup. I personally believe Jordan Love's the better quarterback on the field, and call me a homer all you want. But I think Jay Money's going to prove that on Sunday. Yeah, I think the knee is as close to 100% as it's been all year going into this week. And, we saw him run for that first down against the Rams, and we all kind of cringed and held our breath, and he got up. He was fine. I think he looks good. So I think some of these numbers that are a little low for Jordan at this point in the year are going to start to increase a little bit as the season progresses. So hopefully we get a dub on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's our quarterback. I mean, it's that's who we're going with. I think that moving forward, looking at the snaps and stuff that they've had less snaps. I think that we could get them into throwing the ball a lot. Maybe we could get them into some 3-and-out situations, get them off the field. If we can control the clock, control the ball, that's going to be huge. And I know J Love can do that. It's just I think he's going to go for another 24 points. That's been his minimum so far this year. Let's keep that up and see if the defense can hold him to under it, or if we need to put up more after that.
That ain't no problem. Huh? That ain't no problem.
Well, Rudy in the chat says Love looked so much better on his leg last week than against Minnesota. I'm hopeful. I agree, Drew. I think that second half especially, man, oh my gosh. When he ran for that 3rd and 12 last week, I put the knee behind me. It's done. It's over. He's good to go. He knows it now. He's ready to roll. I really believe that. When you look at the market here, the market opened up as Green Bay being 5-point favorites, although PFF has it a little less than that at 4.4. And then you've seen the market shifted during the week to 5.5-point favorites, okay? And then came back to 5, back to 5.5, and that's where it currently sits, okay? So the Packers are 5.5-point favorites at Lambeau. And it looks like the juice is on Arizona money line at plus 203, and the over-under is set at 47.5 points. Now, PFF seems to think you want to take the under there. I'm sure that has something to do with the potential of rain as well. When we look at the money that's coming in on this game, so when we talk the spread, again, this is the Packers laying 5.5 points, Cardinals getting 5.5 points. The cash is 63% of the cash is in on the Cardinals at plus 5.5, 61% of the tickets. So they think they are going to cover. At least that's what the public is saying. All right. When we go to the money line, which means just winning the game outright, 54% of the cash is on the Cardinals. 78% of the tickets are on Green Bay. All right. So overall money, fairly close, 54 to 46%, but the cash is on the Cardinals. But man, all the degenerate gamblers that put in the mini small tickets like your boy here,
Here's the guy.
78% of them are on the Packers there. All right, that's probably why we're all broke here. But anyway, yeah. So over under, it looks like the cover probability on the under is set at 52%. So it is leaning in that direction. It looks like the public's actually on the over though. 67% of the cash is on the over. 74% of the tickets is on the over. All right, so that is kind of your betting preview there when it comes to the Packers and the Cardinals. Let's talk about personnel wise. Let's see if we can identify a couple Tuesday players. That sound good, fellas?
I like it.
All right, so let's just stay in 11 personnel. We know both teams are going to run that the majority of the time. It's going to be the set that you run the most. Now with the Cardinals, we could go 12. We'll probably get a decent idea there as well. But let's focus in on their defensive side of the ball. Who are their playmakers? The first one that sticks out is their right defensive end. It looks like in their sub package he actually kicks to the interior, and that is Zaven Collins. All right, his PFF grade the last 4 years, 66.5, 59.8. Then he jumped to 72.1. This year he's up to 78. He is the 17th highest graded edge defender in the league this year. Coverage grade's 82.2. That's kind of, I would say, inflating that number a little bit. His defensive overall grade is a 78. Run defense, though, 82.7. Pass rush grade only 56.8. Not really overly concerned about our boy Zaven Collins here, but that's definitely the guy on the defensive line you want to watch for. Him and Gardeck, I think is how you say the name here. 6 foot 232. My man is thick. He's thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. Defensive grade 69.3. Run defense grade 61.5. Pass rush grade 69.1. Coverage grade is 71.8 when he does drop into coverage, which isn't that often. He's mainly a defensive lineman. So those are the guys up front you want to watch for. The team captain, the team leader is obviously Budda Baker. He's the 14th highest graded safety in the league. Been doing it for a long time. His run defense grade is as good as it's ever been, 81.4. His overall defensive grade, 72.8. Coverage grade hovering around a 65.4.
Mm-hmm.
So on defense, those are the players that stick out.
Pull Budda back up real quick, Clay.
Yeah, man.
Look at those position snaps. D-line 3, box 122, slot corner 33, wide corner 2, free safety 146, punt return, field goal blocks. I mean, the dude is all over.
Water boy, ticket taker, security guard.
Yeah. So can we
starting third base, Bugs Bunny. Starting second base, Bugs Bunny.
We get a coach on the sideline with a card and let us know where he's at every play because, like, J-Love, that's going to be his first look. It's going to be, where's Collins at on the line? Where's Budda at in the secondary? All right, now we can start making our reads.
That's why we got to run the ball in early downs, right? Get him coming up, creeping up, and then we set up those shot plays.
So if we go to 12 personnel, this is what their base 34 looks like. Not as good, right? I mean, you see that in that defensive line is
defense, man. We got to be able to run the ball in these guys.
Yeah. Gotcha. Now, they're going to try to load the box, I would imagine. But, again, 12 personnel, 2x2 sets. That's what you really want to press into, right? I want to see some boot action off of that, too. If they start loading that box, give me some boot left looks with Christian Watson if he is on the field. I'd be all about that, man. Hitch on the boot side with the deep crosser from the other side to Christian. Let's go. Oh, by the way, there's a guy out there by the name of Jaden Reed, too. Just don't forget about him.
Sure is.
All right, so that's kind of the players to look for on their defense. Again, 12 personnel is what you really want to press into when it comes to attacking them. Let's go to our defense, their offense. Again, let's start with 11 personnel, and we'll go with our nickel defense. Let's see what their offense looks like. Again, one of the better offenses in the league. There's no two ways about it.
A lot of green.
Yeah, a lot of green. You're right. Starting off, Kyler Murray, we kind of hit on him already, but again, passing grade 78, run grade 75.6. He's on pace to tie his best career year according to PFF in 2020, 82.8, 2021, 82.9. This year he's at 81.9. So my man is playing good football, no two ways about it.
Hopefully it's a double XP weekend this weekend.
Oh, what if it was? Wouldn't that be awesome? So as far as in the backfield, they've got the 14th highest graded running back in James Conner, still doing it at a high level. My man, 76.8. You got a running grade of 76.3. Look at these PFF grades, man. You talking about an underappreciated running back. He has been as consistent as anyone in the league when you think about it from the running back position. Obviously, last year, 89.2, but this year, sitting right around a 76.8. Just seemed like he's always in the 70s or above for James Conner.
Thick. 6'1", 233.
Oh, yeah, he's thick. He is thick and no doubt more of a power back for sure. Marvin Harrison Jr., obviously talk of the town, right? Offensive grade 77.8, receiving grade 77, 6'4", 205. Somebody was telling me, I heard somebody on a podcast earlier today, they were saying that he's not creating a whole lot of separation, if I understood correctly. But nonetheless, man, PFF's got him graded fairly high here, looking pretty good. So it's a big
like
body.
Father, like son, right?
Yeah, no doubt, man. So that's the receiver you're looking to stop, obviously. Now, listen, the others two here as well. You got Michael Wilson lined out wide, 67.5. That's not horrible. You've got Dortch, I think is how you say it. Dortch, yeah. 67.3. He's got a receiving grade of 66.6. Not bad there. Those guys are getting quite a bit of snaps.
What is he, 5'7"? Is that what that said?
Dortch. Yeah, he's 5'7". What are you?
That ain't no problem.
No,
that ain't no problem.
That is not a problem. My man is a sleeper pick right there.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, that guy, that'd be hard to find him on cheat motion, don't you think?
Could you imagine? It'd be one of them where Tyreek Hill squats down behind the line and he, just hide him back there sort of thing.
Yep. So there is your receiving core. Now, Trey McBride, playing solid, man. He's been in the league. This is his third year. First year in the league, 50.9. Then his second year in the league, he jumps to a 76.3. This year, he's sitting at a 72.9. I think he's the seventh. Is that what it is? Seventh highest graded tight end at that 72.9. His receiving grade 73, run blocking grade 62.9, 6'3", 246 out of Colorado State. Got to watch for the tight end, especially since you're going to be playing a lot of heavy tight end sets. Let's switch it up to 12 real quick and go to our base and see how we match up. This is what they really like to do, 12 and 13 personnel. So you got Trey McBride, but you've also got Elijah Higgins as the other tight end, 64.5. Not bad at all. Look at all those lined up here, Emilio. They got an inline 85 in the backfield, 4 snaps, slot in the slot position 43. They flexed him out wide, 12 snaps. He also plays special teams, looks like, too. So
that's a lot of that 23 personnel, right? That they're running all these different personnel groups. He's getting a lot of different spots on the field. So we got to account for that dude for sure.
And they're getting enough from their line that, they got a solid left tackle, a solid center, their right tackles, but strong. And I think then your guards are your weak points, but as long as you can hold anchors.
Yep. Speaking of tackles, this guy right here, Paris Johnson. Wow.
Left tackle, Paris Johnson Jr., 6th overall pick a couple years ago. Rookie year, 60.1. This year, 82.6, the 9th highest graded tackle in the league. This is one of the main reasons their offense has really been going, is that blindside protection for Kyler Murray. There's no two ways about it. Opposite him, you got Beacham. That's a fairly good tackle, too. A PFF will load here. I got to see if I paid the internet. I might not have paid the bill, boys. I apologize. Can't get it to load. 46th highest graded tackle. That's a solid number 2 when you think about it. And then you got their center, Froholt. Sound like a character from Lord of the Rings, don't it? 73.3 offensive grade, pass blocking grade 67.9, run blocking grade 74.7. Been in the league now for four or 5 years, looks like. He was a 4th round pick. I would pay top dollar to get Josh Myers to play at that level. I'm not trying to be mean, but my God.
Top dollar. I would take the trash out. I wouldn't even complain about taking the trash out if we could get Josh Myers at that level.
That's exactly right. Anything you guys want to hit on as far as the PFF preview here with their offense before we get ready to wrap this big bear up? I'm glad we got a chance to do this evening.
It's not all about Marvin Harrison Jr., despite what a lot of the fan base has been saying. Like we got to worry about Marvin Harrison Jr., of course, but clearly there's other weapons on this offense, including Connor at the running back position. You got him back there with Murray. This offense has the ability to be dynamic in different ways. So the last thing on earth we want to do is press man on Harrison Jr. all day, right, and make him the focal point. Certainly you got to account for him, but if you take him away or you're doubling him or you're playing, bracket or whatever you're doing to account for Harrison Jr., you're going to get exposed by some of these other weapons on this offense. So just hope we play a complete game on Sunday.
Definitely. Emilio, read that comment for me.
Yeah, Drew D. Imagine Harrison walking up to Dortch and Murray in a conversation.
How y'all doing down there, little fellas?
Just jump balls, Kyler, jump balls. But yeah, I think that they have a powerful offense, right? It's not it's not a joke. We can't take them lightly. We do have to go out there and play some football. I think that we can get a little pressure from the of 4 up front. I think that's going to be huge, but I also think it's going to be big if we can get out to a lead, not chasing the whole game, and try to put a little pressure on them, make them make a mistake, kind of thing.
Definitely.
That's exactly.
Donald in the chat said it's going to take a full game of good football starting the first half slow. Ain't going to cut it this week, man. You could fall behind real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Although I got to say, that Minnesota game, fellas, anytime we go down this year, I'm going to look up and go, hey, we were down 28-0, only lost by 2. Like that, there's something to be said for that. It gives.
I just don't even sweat it when it's Jordan at quarterback and we go down. It's like, all right, we still have another 30 minutes. You know what I mean? When I was younger, it was like, oh man, we are down by 2 touchdowns. It's a wrap. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go outside.
The other end of that spectrum too is the fact that, like, if you look at particularly that Vikings game, our defense wasn't playing very well. But what do we know about our defense? They are a takeaway machine. At any given point, that defense can create a turnover and get us right back in the game. So,
yep.
I mean, it is. Donald's right here in the chat, man. We got to play full bore 4 quarters of football. But as fans, I think you're right, Clayton. We should not be panicking if we go down a little bit in a game, because this team has proven time and time again that they can come back. We did it last year against the Saints. Came back against the Saints at home and stole one. That was a beautiful thing.
That was the Buffalo Wild Wings game, Tim. That was my birthday weekend. I was like, I cannot believe. And then everyone was, we're down 4th quarter. Nothing on the board. Yep. Unbelievable.
We did it against the Falcons on the road, right?
I went to that game, and we lost that one too. I was in the
almost
stadium.
Came back. Did it in Pittsburgh. We almost came back, stole one in Pittsburgh last year. So this team is capable.
That was the blocking one, Tim. That's where Christian Watson knew he could block.
Yep.
And that post-game show, you guys need to go watch it. That was hilarious.
Who was it? I think it was Josh Martin at the super chat. Yep.
Who? I think it was Josh Martin. He said Christian Watson can't catch, he can't run, he can't stay healthy. What can he do? And Emilio, I literally read it and went, and Emilio went, he can block.
That's the truth. He can block. Ever since then. We see him step down. He could play tight end.
That's hilarious. Oh, man. Anyway, all right. So let's get out of here. We're way over for no reason at all. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. If you would, please do us a big favor. Hit that like button. Feel free to sub to the channel if you like this kind of content. If you don't, it was nice meeting. All right. Y'all have a wonderful life. But anything else, fellas?
Nothing.
All right.
So keep an eye on Bo Melton, possibly going up against his brother.
Yeah, that's going to be fun, man.
Little matchup to watch there.
Yeah. Here's the plan tomorrow. There may be a morning show. There may not. I need to get on the road fairly early. I know Emilio's not going to get out of bed. Tim's going to be on the road too, so he won't be able to do the show. What we may do is just do the evening show tomorrow, okay? And I got to run out of town. I got to run out of my brother's property and do some work down there. And then I'll try to get back. I'll definitely get back up in time for a night show. So what I might do is sleep in a little bit. But
you probably should. Well deserved.
Yeah, it's been a.
You should try it. It's pretty nice.
It is, Emilio. Somebody's got to keep this damn country moving forward while you're sleeping, Emilio.
That's true.
So I was so proud of him. He got up early to do the podcast in Nashville the morning after the game. I couldn't believe it. He said, "Yeah, I'll be." I was like, "Bet me." Next thing I know, he's knocking on the door with 2 bananas.
Hey,
that sounded bad. We're out of here. Right.
I brought 4. We had 2 on the walkover.
Radio that one in, Tim.
Oh gosh.
He came in and said, "Clayton, if you're cramping, here's bananas." Pop. I'm just like, and you guys heard me on the pod. My voice was gone. I was just like, let's get this over with. What the hell why is there 2 bananas on the table, Emilio? Where do you keep getting these?
I've seen that setup. It was just basically sitting on top of pillows. I was waiting for it to fall over.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you should have seen that rig, Tim. We had everything rigged up trying to just do a podcast. Oh my God. It was a disaster.
Yeah, that's the look we were giving each other.
Emilio walked in and went, "That's where we're doing the podcast." So, Mandy made fun of me the whole time. That's my life, man. That's my life. She wakes up, gives me hell, and says,
Bon dia.
All right, so we're out, guys. Appreciate it.
Clayton looks at her and says,
cheese curds make my stomach hurt all the time, but I do eat them though.
Bro, I eat so much trash at that stadium. Oh my God. I threw down everything, man. Tell you what they didn't have at the stadium. They didn't have that Kraft Yak and cheese. You know what I'm saying? Gotta have it. So all right, we're out of here. The show sucks. Appreciate everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night for PTA Live, 7 p.m. Central Time. We'll get in here and break down. Might break down a little more tape. Might look at some of Kyler Murray's throws, things like that. And we might dig through and do a couple Packer highlights too, kind of see what's working, what isn't. But we'll definitely be back then. We're also planning on Sunday, we'll be doing a pregame show an hour and a half before kickoff, and then we'll be doing a postgame show immediately following the game. So it's going to be a lot of fun. That being said, Tim, Emilio, appreciate y'all's time, man. Thank y'all so much. Help me out here, Tim.
For those of you listening on the pod,
Justin messages earlier and said, bro, every time I hear Jacob say, for those of you listening on the pod, no, it's the possum. Well, give me the possum.
that is a possum in a dumpster.
That's the one. He struggles to get that dumpster out, man. Anyway, do what you want. I don't care. Have a good night. Bye.